Welcome. We are back from our mini hiatus. I am Jordan King. This is Mom, and we are Mom Knows Ball. Mom, how are we doing?
Doing good. Yep. Took a little break. Wanted to give people a lot of time to vote and to manage through their choices. We didn't want to be a distraction. That's the kind of people
This
we
is
are.
what we do for you guys. We're no heroes. Like, we're not, don't call us Captain America or Captain's America, but, we're just out here. We're doing God's work. So we gave everyone that time to self-reflect, to vote, to do whatever they needed to do. Little PTA. I know that's not the right word, but
I don't
TNA.
even know PTA. I don't know.
No?
This
Okay.
kid and his made up words. Are you talking about PTO, like paid time off, or
No, it's like what's called like
self-care?
nah. Self-care, yeah. I
Okay,
guess. But there's a something in A or like tender loving care or something.
Okay,
I don't know.
Nope, we're not
Okay.
going down that path. Yeah, we've had a break, so we're gonna have a clean show today. So
Clean, no inappropriate things.
nothing
All
inappropriate.
right, Mom.
All right.
How are we feeling about just the state of our teams? And we've watched a lot of football over these past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'd be remiss.
I have something I have to say. Okay.
Okay, let's hear it.
You and Tamara's the producer. You
Shout
all
out Tam. Say shout out
have,
Tam, Mom.
we have these meetings to like say, hey, what can we do to have a larger audience or to have better content? And so these two said to me, maybe a little less Alabama content. And you know what I said? I said, sure. I said, sure.
That's exactly how that went. She definitely said sure.
Here's a little less Alabama content. Alabama did the beatdown on LSU. They brought a live tiger. Didn't even know that was a thing, that we bring live tigers.
I need to talk to Peter now,
hey,
because I know that.
I will not be interrupted on I am going to have a little less Alabama content. And let's keep it going. Ex-Alabama quarterback, Heisman winner Bryce Young got his second win in overtime for the Carolina Panthers. Look at y'all, Panthers. I'm moving y'all off my list. I'm not going to say what kind of list it is.
Yeah, what kind of list is that?
Hey, I will not be interrupted. And then Jalen Hurts and Smitty. I mean, they just beat down the Dallas Cowboys. I'm in Dallas, and the Cowboy fans, they always ask me, they go, you're a football person, but you don't ever say anything about the Cowboys. I was like, because I don't have an opinion. Like, they are like not in my line of thought. And they told me that was disrespectful. They said it's disrespectful for you to not care. So how about this? Y'all got beat up. I care because my boys beat y'all up. And then one more, and then I'm going to let you have it. And I'm not saying I'm not going to come back to Alabama.
Because it feels like you are. I mean, this is just, should I just put myself on mute?
Okay. 4 touchdowns down in Baton Rouge at night. What did Les Miles say? Death Valley is where our opponents' dreams come to die. Are you sure about that? Because what I saw in the fourth quarter was a stadium that was full of Alabama fans. So, yeah. So, the next time y'all think about telling me to have less Alabama content, think twice about that. So, yeah. Was there something else you want to talk about?
That was Mom's cold open monologue where she just said, clear out everyone. I got this. So, yes, a lot to celebrate from the Alabama front, whether it's alumni or the team right now itself. Milroe looked great. Bryce has looked competent, which might sound like a slight, but like he had not looked competent for the previous start. So he's looked like okay, and that's okay with me.
Yeah.
I'm in a line. Anyway, so
what about the Jags? What about the Jags, Jay?
yeah, see, you're bearing the lead because you're talking out your butt with the Cowboys because we are no team to talk about anyone's record. We actually had another Alabama quarterback start on Sunday for our Jags, our boy Mac. And yeah, let's just say I think Mac is good at being a backup. I think for now he'll be a backup. He threw just a brutal interception at the end of the game, but that's the Jag season for you. I'm not going to blame it on one player.
Yeah.
We just don't look great. It's a lost season. I guess the biggest thing looking ahead is what we're going to do with our top 10 draft pick because there's a lot of intriguing prospects. There's some quarterbacks that could be had. I don't know what the future is with Trevor Lawrence because I'm not seeing it. Maybe we get someone like Ben Johnson. The Lions
they have invested in Trevor.
Okay. Well, we don't. They're who's also invested what the Giants invested in Daniel Jones and they ain't invested they're gonna cut him. We could invest, but we got a rich owner. We might just eat our losses. I don't know. So I don't know I don't know if I think he'll get one more shot next season, but I think he'll be on a shorter leash. We'll see and. Yeah, right. It's a lost season, and number 3 pick. Here we come.
Well, college football was an exciting weekend, though. Back to
no, it was great. I mean, we're getting in. We're not even getting into the meat. We're getting into the dessert of the season now. We got the rivalry games. For us, our last big game is Auburn, and then hopefully the SEC championship. We kind of control our own destiny, so I think that's going to be, big. And
then Georgia lost to Ole Miss. The other big Miami lost.
Yep. Georgia, and so now our Georgia win doesn't look as good. But
I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that.
Okay, she's gonna talk about that.
Yeah. So the Georgia win with them losing to Ole Miss, and then I tell you, any given year because SMU is on top of the ACC.
I know. Speaking of Dallas football teams, SMU. I mean, I remember in our old neighborhood in Dallas. There was this house of this kid who I was classmates with in middle school, and they always had this SMU flag up every Saturday, and it was a point. I was oh, I actually respect it because I was SMU, aren't they the team that's always 2-7 or 2-9 or something? And I think about them to this day because I'm pretty sure they might still live there, and they always had that dang SMU flag out every Saturday like clockwork. And so, you know what? Shout out to whatever. I don't even remember his name. I think his name was Kyle.
It was a kid.
Kyle, the Kyle family. The Kyle family. Shout out to the Kyle family. I'm sure y'all are happy. I still think about, every time I think of SMU, I think about this kid and his parents. I don't even think he went to SMU. I think the dad did. But I'm sure they're very happy. They also always had great Christmas decorations. So I'm sure, So that's they had good curb appeal. I respected it.
Yeah. I respect loyalty. Look, we are loyal to our Jacksonville Jaguars, and and so yeah, I respect it. I respect it. So, what are you laughing about, Jordan?
No, I'm Mom. I'm locked in. I'm not laughing about anything.
I always wonder what you and Tam are plotting against me.
See, my mom doesn't know about the concept of having multiple screens like that. She's not ready for that yet. I think that might break her brain. So there's this thing where you can have multiple screens for those who work in media. So I have a USB cord that plugs in and it's HDMI. I'm not going to get into all the acronyms because I know that would also break your brain. Okay. We're still working on the PDF. The PDF to the HDMI to the USB to the USB-CE, AING, HIJKLMNOP. Okay.
RESPECT. Okay. So there we go.
All right. I guess we're just spelling words now. All right. This is our spelling section.
Psalm, Jordan. Respect.
I know.
Respect. Okay, here
I
we go. Okay,
yes.
so okay, I think we've done our mindless yapping without even teeing it up. We did want
Now
to do a little segment today where we just profiled, some of the Heisman hopefuls. There are lots of, the list is so fluid. It's constantly moving. But we've got three that it feels like this week, they are at the top of the list. And so we're gonna do a segment that we call unrelated, but so you'll get the gist of it. And I'm gonna start with Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. I mean, we know that he has set the NCAA touchdown record, but
But you got this. Come on.
unrelated, but he is breaking hearts all over the country, not just because, apparently he's like this really good looking guy. I haven't paid attention that close.
She has no
But
idea.
over the summer, his puppy, Winston, went to puppy heaven, and he did this long post, and he talked about, the love that he had for his puppy, how it taught him the importance, of leading with your heart. So, yeah, if you liked him a little bit, you'll probably like him a lot after you saw that story. So, unrelated, but.
And I don't want to get into puppy talk, but we also have to talk about our boy Ben Herbstreit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we all knew the College Game Day segment was going to break our hearts. I have some notes about a couple things in that segment that I've talked to some people about, but the dog didn't do anything wrong. I love that dog. I thought he was a puppy. I thought Ben was a puppy still. Not a puppy, but I thought he was young. He had such an angelic face. And it's just sad, whenever you lose a dog, it's, we lost our dog Midnight. Shout out Midnight, our king. Lost him a year and a half ago, almost, I guess, 2 years ago now. And, it's something it never gets easier regardless of how many dogs you've had. And so, I felt for Kirk being able to not only, do game day, but he called an NFL game the same day his dog died.
The same day.
That's like, I mean, that is just respect because I can't imagine having to do something like that. So Ben, there was a lot of discourse about where's Ben? Why is he always there? It's like now we're all like, we want Ben there.
We want Ben there. Exactly.
Ben is there in spirit. So, College Game Day won't be the same. So back to our unrelated, but I got to go with Ashton Janty, who is just breaking rushing records in Boise left and right. He is on pace, I think, or has the potential to beat Barry Sanders' all-time NCAA rushing record, which is, just incredible, the fact that he's able to do this, especially when we live in an era where the running back position is dead and all this and that. But unrelated, but I have literally just been cracking up looking at all these memes. If you've ever watched a Boise game, you've seen the way he stands. And so there's all these Ashton Janty stands like Michael Myers in the backfield. Ashton Janty dressing up as Michael Myers is a lot less menacing than him in a Boise State uniform. He literally did it for Halloween. I mean, it is just hilarious to me how he just like stands still like a statue. And it's like, I don't know if he's going to, go chase after Jamie Lee Curtis or he's going to, or he's going to run for 100 yards. Like, I don't know. It's very hard to not just crack up when you see what he's doing and just him just standing still. Like I can't get enough of it. So that is my unrelated, but Ashton Janty, Michael Myers meme is got me.
Well, I have a special place in my heart for him because he was born in Jacksonville. His father was in the military, but he actually went to high school in Frisco, Texas, which is like two miles down the road from me. So I feel like, we're slightly connected. But anyway, Okay, and then my last one, which feels like he is number one right now. But again, the list change is Travis Hunter. He is the football player at Colorado that plays both offense and defense. He is the number one target as a receiver, but he's also the guy that always guards the defends against the number one receiver on the other team. So, of course, unrelated, but he bought his mom a house in Georgia. He surprised her with a house with his NIL money. And so you got to love a kid who's in college. And in college, we can be a little bit more, I'm going to use my money to do this, to do that. But he made a huge purchase, which is a sound investment for everybody. And Jordan, I'm just thinking, Travis Hunter bought his mama a house in college.
That's nice.
You're going to take a little.
I don't know why now we're looking at me as if.
Okay, you know what? I'm coming to LA in 2 weeks. Can you pay for me a hotel room? Can a mom get a hotel room?
It's called my couch. That's what it's called, the Jordan Inn. I don't think it pulls out, but I will leave you 2 pillows, not just one. So
okay. Cute. And then we'll start looking at that list and see if there are others that we want to.
Tamara just wrote in the chat, a mansion in heaven.
Mansion in heaven. I say, okay, Tamara, I've told y'all. I've.
We're not allowed to gang up against the old lady.
Yep, I've had some conversations.
All right, so that was our unrelated, but I think this could be a recurring segment what we do with a couple other things. So shout out Mom for you being the brainchild of that one. We might tweak the name a little bit, but I like it.
Okay.
All right, let's do our finale, our good, our bad, and our And I took the mic from you there because you've been messing up the good, the bad, the I just do it now. So,
okay.
Now I'm going to start off. We'll start off with your good. I'll give you the wheel here.
Okay. We touched on this. I love seeing Bryce Young smile. I love seeing him on the sideline. I love seeing him do his little dance because when he was at Alabama, even when we were down, we could count on Bryce smiling. And I think that smiling gave us so much comfort that it was kind of like, it's going to be okay. Because Bryce has made us think it's going to be okay, regardless of what was going on. And so my good is I just love seeing him smile. I love seeing him happy. And I just feel like, he's got it back. He's got his confidence back, and that I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season and him back where he should be. That's my good.
No, I think it's we touched on it, but it's nice to see just something positive coming out of that. Coming out of Charlotte, because it's been a tough go for our guy.
Yeah.
My good is Lamar Jackson, Action Jackson, Thursday Night Football. I just got to say, in general, Thursday Night Football this year has been, pretty good. There's been some good games. And I've just gotten tired of this talk about, is Joe Burrow going to win it? Could the Jets come back? I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, maybe this is a little too personal to me and in my bubble, but I've just been seeing way too much talk about other people, even like Mahomes. And as great as that team is, Mahomes has not been playing at MVP level, and Lamar has. And they'll say, it's because he's got Derrick Henry. It's like, no, he is balling out this year. And I know the playoffs are what they are, and everyone wants, a Josh Allen. But you know what? I think Lamar is doing it with his arm this year. I know I sound like a broken record, but can we just I'm not ready to hand him the MVP, but we're starting to polish off and get the nameplate ready, okay? The nameplate is starting to get, craved. We might start engraving his name soon. So I just want to shout out Lamar. Thursday Night Football. That was such an epic game. Feels like a long time ago now, but I mean, I was at a work event, bowling party or whatever. Shout out to me bowling at 160, no big deal. And you know, why do you have to shade my shine, as the kids say?
Jordan, I love that.
Why are you shading my shine? Let me talk. Okay, let me cook. All right. Anyway, we're back, folks. Scott, feels good to be back.
Are you well done, or are you still kicking?
Hey, you know what I do? You know I like things very, very crisp. So
you do like everything well done. So
yes, that's the kind of guy I am. That's how steak should be eaten. Well done, folks. Now everyone's gonna get mad at me. Anyway, that's my good. Lamar Jackson, my MVP choice. He's been great this year. Mom, what is your bad?
Okay, my bad is look, yeah, I would call it on any game that I saw it happen, because I know it happened earlier in the year at a Texas game, but I didn't see that. But with the Alabama LSU game, when the LSU fans started throwing the trash on the field, I mean, again, you know, we all have fan bases that do things that they have no business doing, and but come on. I mean, they had to like stop and clear, and they were clearing, and people were still throwing the trash. So yeah, it was just a bad look. I mean, it was just a really bad, and I can't even remember. I think it was a play that the ref missed, like he missed a face mask or something, and I want to go,
yeah.
Okay, dude, you lost.
And it wasn't even. They showed the replay. It was they brought on the official, like, you know, the official from the TV, and it was like, that's a face mask, even if it's on the side of the face mask. So I mean, it was just, yeah. I mean, and I'm gonna piggyback off of your bad, because look, we got to stop with the field storming. The whole SEC fan base is being put on notice, because you have no reason. And the day Alabama storms the field is when you know things are real low for us. You're the 16th ranked team in the country. I get that you beat number 2 Georgia. You're excited. You don't need to be storming the field. You're Ole Miss, okay? Like, have some respect for yourself. And then to do the whole thing, you get on the field and they storm it too early. It's just embarrassing. It's like, I get, you know, Vanderbilt doing it. Like, that's the only really SEC school where I'm like, I get it. Or if you guys were unranked, but you guys carry yourselves as if you're, you know, one of the top dogs of the SEC, even though y'all haven't done a damn thing in about 2 decades. But what is this storm in the field as a top 20 team, as a team that is on the cusp of making the college football playoff? Like, you don't need to be friggin' storming the field. It's just, you know, do better, Oxford. Do better, okay?
Jordan.
What?
The language.
We have a censor.
Okay. Okay. You know, hey, I agree. I don't you know, the storm, and then they didn't do it right. They stormed it. They had to.
How do you mess up a field?
They stormed when they still had 14 or 15 seconds left in the game. My aunt is Georgia losing. So everybody's celebrating Georgia losing. But I'm like, that's not good for us. First of all, Georgia losing means that Ole Miss has only got 2 losses in the SEC, and we've got 2 losses in the SEC. There's no head-to-head between us, so there's no, we got them on the head-to-head. And then secondly, our beating Georgia, you know, it doesn't look as elite. Now, I will say this. I'm going to say this. I was kind of like, well, you know, I'm so sick of the Georgia's only lost to Alabama. Like, I was kind of growing tired of that, because it just kind of made it look like, there's just this mystery that happens between these 2 teams. But it's like, I was like, Georgia's losing. But then it's like, I don't know that that's good for us. So, yeah, that's my aunt. Georgia losing to Ole Miss.
And I'm just looking at the remainder of the schedule, and I know you're going to the Oklahoma game and you're very excited, but they are they are just bad. And Auburn, I know we throw out the record books with Auburn.
Yeah.
But geez, I didn't realize. All right, I'm sorry, I got a little off topic. Schedule, we should be fine. But we got to win out. We got to do it like we mean it. So we shall see. We've touched on it before. This whole Bronny going between the G League and the NBA. Mom wrote, I just don't understand it, and I'm going to retweet and repost that. I don't understand it either, because he's playing in El Segundo, which is near where I work. Shout out El Segundo. I don't think anyone says that, but I
don't think so either.
Yeah, he's playing with the South Bay Lakers, but then he also plays for the Lakers, and I consider myself an NBA savant, and I know there's a two-way deal, but I thought it was like the minors and the majors where like you got sent up and then you got sent down, but not like you're on both teams at once. And like I saw him in the box score for the Lakers game, I think the day after he played like 1 minute or something, the day after he played for the Lakers or the same day. I don't know how it works. I don't know what the shuttle situation is. I mean, I'm sure he's taking a PJ, but anyway, like I just stay in the G League. I just think if he stays in the G League, and it's been funny to see LeBron and Savannah sitting courtside at the South Bay Laker games. And courtside, I mean like on like fold out chairs. And so the contrast between that and, being in crypto.com arena, next to, Jack Nicholson and Will Ferrell is, it's kind of funny, but it reminds me of, his AAU days where, there was no one but LeBron, like, on the court, just, like, clapping up a storm. So that's my That story continues to be just a head scratcher. But, we are getting into the NBA season, and our Mavericks we're good, but we're not good. It's a competitive East. We'll do ball talk. We'll do other ball talk, as we call it. Next week. I think that'll be good. But any plugs, Mom, before we wrap up today's episode? It's been good talking to you. I realized I missed you. I'm not even gonna let you finish. I just missed
it was interesting because when we decided that we weren't going to do the podcast last week, I was like watching sports. When I'm normally watching sports, I'm like, watching for something, in addition to who wins the game, but like something really interesting. And I'm like, oh, I think I could just watch the games and watch what game I want to. And so, so I'm in the business now. I'm like in the sports journalism business.
She thinks like she should get media credentials for Oklahoma, Alabama.
I'm a journalist.
Like she's gonna show up with like create her own media credential, and they're gonna be like, "Ma'am, who are you with?" "Oh, I'm with Mom Knows Ball." "Okay, I don't know what that is." No, you've heard of us. We got 701 subscribers on YouTube. Shout out.
701. Considering, I remember when we hit 100, and we were like, "Oh my God, we have 100 subscribers."
Mom, every time we get a new view, Mom's like, "Guys, we're at 257 views, 258 views." We get text updates. I mean, it's impressive. My mom is locked in. So, speaking of, please subscribe to our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. And yeah, we will be back next week. We'll be reunited soon, Mom and I, for Thanksgiving. Or we might do an in-person episode there. So a lot of fun to come on Mom Knows Ball. I am Jordan King, and that is Mom who
knows ball.
She knows ball, folks.
Bye.
All right, see y'all.